All right, man. We're rolling special guest right here. NorCal next up. You real quick. You want to introduce yourself to the people?
Hey, Wags, P World, man.
It must be gone. Where the hell did it go? What the fuck do we do? And tell me who the fuck do we show? All this drip, now hoes act different. I'm still mean, I don't act different. One last word before I close that kitchen.
Juice in the cup and I'm starting to knot. Told her clean up the mess and don't call me no shh. Never again, if I said it, I meant it. That walking shit back isn't part of my job. Self-explanatory, Pyrex boy, man. Shout out to NorCal next up, man. They've been showing me love for a long time. It's only right we lock in.
Hell yeah.
Get this in real quick, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So we out here at Rivertown right now. What we doing right here in Antioch?
We in Antioch right now. We came out to show some support for Lazy Boy. He got a new video he's shooting right now for a song he's about to release. So we just basically pulled up to show our support. Show the guy, let him turn up, man, with the homie one time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay. So what does Rivertown mean to you?
Rivertown, that's like a alternate name for Antioch. So like Rivertown, like Pittsburg has an alternate name called what is it called? Landing. What is it? Something Landing. I can't even think of it right now. But it's like an alternate name, a slang name designated to it by the city, and that's synonymous with Antioch, Rivertown. And thus, you see, we right by the river too, so we run right by it. So that's kind of how it got its name.
Okay, so yeah, so you grew up around here pretty much. It's like your stomping grounds type shit.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
We on the border. We share a border with Antioch, Pittsburgh, and Antioch. So it's all it's always just we neighbors. So we always been tapped in with each other throughout the years.
But so pretty much you grew up coming around here type shit. Like when you were young, you grew up.
Yeah, and when I got into music, this was where Woodie was from. So I used to come out here a lot with Woodie and his homies. That's how I got into the circle where I function with a lot of people from Antioch and from Woodie's neighborhood, and everyone that was in his immediate circle. I've been tapped in with them for a long time. They're like family to me. Some of them really is family to me too. You know what I mean?
What can you say about Woodie's legacy so far? Or like, how do you feel about Woodie's legacy and how it's upheld in today's time?
I mean, you see it out here. We deep. We been 50, 100 deep out showing support today, and half of these people actually know Woodie or was raised on his music, so his legacy lives on, and it's nice to see the impact that he made back then still carry over and transition into today, and it's powerful, bro, just being able to have created such a strong movement, because he definitely was one of the first, if not the first rapper from Antioch, California, and it's got a heavy music scene right now. A lot of people are coming up and being successful and finding ways to feed their family off of it, which is a good thing, man. It's a positive thing, and it's good to see that his impact was on such a monumental scale out here to people.
Yeah, hell yeah. So where does the name AWAX come from? Where does that name come from?
It's a hood name. One of my homies gave me the name. Like, I was a youngster and we was being real knuckleheadish, and it was a scene out of the Menace to Society movie where they was like, that's AWAX, he put in so much work, like in a reference to that. Like, I used to do a lot, so my homies gave me that name, so I had
what, like putting on wax or not? It's different.
Just like he put in so much work that he ain't really got to put in work. Like, he just do it because he want to now. He ain't trying to prove himself.
So what is, in your perspective, what is the Pyrex movement? Because I see you pushing the line for the Pyrex.
Pyrex is basically, like, we have the pie logo. The original logo is this circle with the pie, and you see the two slices. A lot of people don't know we cut it into four because the slices is indicative of you. It's a pie. You split up with your homies. Everyone get a slice. You try and see everybody that you rock with come up, and you want the best for them. You don't want to big me, little you, your homies, and nothing. You don't want to be in secret competitions with your boys. You want everyone to succeed equally and accordingly. So that's basically the meaning behind Pyrex and what it means to me. It's like
Interesting. Okay, so one last question too, or I got a couple more. But what would you say, in all your years being in this game, what's the biggest mistake that you see other artists making trying to come up?
Biggest mistake I see them making trying to come up is not putting out their music videos and their content on their own channels and building their own channel. Like, it's cool, in my opinion, to get on platforms such as your platform or Thizzler or these other platforms, but balance that when you're coming out and build your own platform at the same time, so you're not always dependent on that. And aside from that, learn the business for yourself. Don't just rely on other people. Somebody puts your album out, it helps you get the distribution. Don't just always rely on them. Learn as you go, so that if that person ever ain't able to do for you, you could do for yourself. Those are the two main things that I think people make mistakes in not doing in their careers.
Okay. How do you suggest an artist goes about that? Say an artist doesn't have any resources, they don't know shit about the game. How do you go about that?
Ask questions, brother. What you do is when you get around somebody that does know, you ask a lot of questions. See if don't a lot of people always want to act like they smarter than they are, and they feel like if they ask questions, they're gonna be looked at as they're not smart enough. It's okay to soak up the game. Ask the questions. How do you do this? All right, you did this, or you're gonna post this interview. How are you gonna split it up and monetize it? What goes in behind the editing of it, or whatever you don't understand? Like, you got to ask those questions so you can understand it and just have an understanding of it. That way, if you ever need to do that for yourself, you're capable of doing it. A lot of people have a lot of game. It's on you if you don't soak it from them and learn it. Like, I've always, even right now at this point in my career, I can learn from you. Like, I'll ask you questions right now. Anything that I see how you're gonna do with your content, I want to know. Maybe it could carry over into what I do. It ain't just
and vice versa.
I'm not exactly. I'm not trying to big homie. Like, I've been in it much longer than you, but that doesn't mean I can't learn something from you. I'm not stubborn in my own way.
Which is crazy about it, because I coming up off seeing people like you come up, and that's what eventually inspired me to make my page. It seemed like, like I said, people like you. I was slapping your shit back in the day. Hella other people. That's why I fuck with this shit, this Bay Area culture. So what do you think about the Bay Area rap scene in general? You feel like we're kind of in a bubble, or you think we can make it out, or is there some type of unity that we have to come to?
I think, like, there's levels to everything, bro. You could win Olympic medals playing sports, or you could win a championship in the NBA, or go overseas leagues. And if you're making money, making money's making money. Everybody's got different goals. Some people want to be billionaires, some cool being multimillionaires, some just want a couple $100,000 in a tuck and a comfortable life. Like, success is what the individual wants. So for me, I'm very successful. I don't feel like I'm missing out, or the Bay Area in whole is unsuccessful because we don't have 15 superstars out here. There's a lot of stars out here, and there's a lot of people that's paying their family and taking care of their family and paying the bills in a legitimate fashion based on their music, and that's a great thing. We can't always want to be the biggest artist of Travis Scott or somebody and compare yourself in that light, because there's tons of artists from other areas with no motion. There's places outside of the Bay Area, like, there's not a lot of artists that come out of Washington State or Idaho or Oregon and whatnot. Like, out here, we're kind of spoiled in that regard. Like, it's a lot of artists get money. They pay their taxes at the end of the year. They doing some positive things with their careers, and that need to be applauded and not always compared to the more successful people. We need to keep this in context and look at the big picture, I feel like.
I do remember part of your story is that you spent time in Seattle, right? Seattle. So what would you say? What's the biggest difference being in the Pacific Northwest versus the Bay Area that you've noticed?
There's what I just said. There's no underground music scene. So for the people that do, Track Money P, people that make names for themselves independently on the music scene, it's not a lot of that. So it's not a lot of game to soak up. When you go, like, I could go around here and I could talk to 50, 60 rappers and people that make podcasts or have different platforms, and I could get game and siphon that game off and build my own plan off it. Up there, it's not a lot of that. So the few that do get it have to travel elsewhere to get the game, and they have to find alternate ways to get it. You know what I'm saying? So I think they have it harder from different states than we do.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So okay. So what's coming next for AWACS? What you got coming?
I got a couple solo albums in the works. I got one with my boy Trax. I got some Brazy Bunch with me and King ISO, and he producing an album for me, and then we working on the next Brazy Bunch. And then me and Big Tone, we got a backup album coming, and we're doing a podcast right now. We just trying to finally just getting our chemistry in the podcast and gaining some momentum. So hopefully everybody enjoy all the content we're gonna be putting out. We're just focused on content, man, trying to be a positive voice still, because a lot of youngsters listen to us out here, and we trying to play it forward, man.
Yeah, all right. All right, y'all heard it right here. AWACS, NorCal next up. We locked in.
You already
We
know,
doing some
bruh.
shit. Yeah, man. Come on, man.
NorCal next
925
up.
shit. 925.